it's Q&A time. Good morning everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to do a Q&A. I asked you all a couple of days ago on Instagram to send me any questions that you had, anything about fitness, health, diet, nutrition, lifestyle, or just some general nosy questions. And I have compiled all of them and I'm gonna answer them the best I can. So let's just jump straight into it. What motivates you to exercise? What motivates me to exercise is just the way it makes me feel. Knowing that I'm getting stronger and knowing that I'm getting fitter and being able to do things that I could never do before is just something that I've always wanted to feel. I also find that the mental effects of exercise really push me to keep going as well. So it definitely helps me to reduce stress and relieve any worries or anxieties that I'm having in that moment. I find long term it helps me create a routine and it gives me some balance to life. You know, I'm not just sitting down working all day or whatever. Yeah. Also, cute outfits. I am absolutely obsessed with brightly coloured gym clothes, as you can tell. And honestly, one of my favourite parts about the gym is collecting new gym stuff. Obviously, you all know I'm a massive Gymshark fan, but yeah. What keeps you motivated to work out and eat healthy? Like we spoke about in my first video, motivation will come and go, and it's really about being able to see the bigger picture and being able to remind yourself of why you're exercising to start with and what your reasons are. You know, what's your long-term goal? Is it performance? Is it to feel better? Is it to relieve some stress mentally? You know, whatever it is, and everyone exercises for different reasons and with different goals in mind, but staying motivated along your journey and on the way is all about being able to see the bigger picture and to push through that initial mental block that you might have when you're feeling demotivated or you don't want to get up and exercise to start with. For me, my ultimate dream and goal is to just be physically fit and healthy and be able to do anything that anyone asks me to. You know, I never want to miss out on something because I am not physically fit enough. How do you maintain eating healthy? So for me, eating healthy was all about learning to make healthy foods yummy. So healthy foods it just doesn't have to be like greens and beans and all the eans. There is so much more to healthy food than just that, and actually I've become much more of like an experimental cook, and I also try and healthy bake sometimes, which my family hate. Sometimes it doesn't turn out very well. It just makes me try new things, so definitely trying to eat healthier has pushed me and pushed my boundaries to what I thought healthy food was and to what it actually can be. It also just makes me feel good. You know, whenever I eat or whenever I'm making a snack, I'm thinking, is this what my body needs? Is this what my body is asking for to fuel it? Am I eating enough? Am I getting the right macros? Am I getting all of my vitamins and minerals? And macros is not something I actively track, but it's important to be thinking about it and be aware of it and make sure that you are getting enough carbs and you are getting enough healthy fats and protein and, you know, all the things that you need in your diet, and that you're not necessarily depriving yourself of any of those, but you're finding the right balance. I also just love the way healthy eating makes me feel. I feel a lot leaner and I wake up a lot leaner. I get a lot less bloated in general. Often I wake up the next day feeling less sluggish, and the mental side of it as well, I just feel healthier. I feel like I've got this well-rounded, balanced diet lifestyle going on. I feel like I got my shit together. However, I don't restrict any food, so I still eat chocolate. If I want a biscuit, I'm gonna have a biscuit. If I wanna make muffins, I'm gonna make muffins and I'm gonna eat them. So I think for me, it's really important not to restrict any foods. I have tried it in the past. If you tell yourself you can't have a certain food, you start to, or you're at risk of developing an unhealthy relationship with certain types of food and looking at them as bad foods and feeling bad when you do have them. So for me, if I want to have chocolate one day, I will have chocolate, and I will just make it work with the rest of my daily eating and try and balance everything else out as well. What would you like to do in the future and how are you working towards it? That is such a good question, and I honestly wish I could answer it, but right now I have no idea. I know that I'd love to stay in the sports and fitness industry. It really is my passion. I'm currently studying sports science, and I am also taking my group fitness instructor certifications and also my personal trainer certifications. So I'm just trying to get some experience in the field. But what I do know is that I just want to help people. I think it's so important that we know why we exercise and the benefits of exercise. So I would just love to be able to share everything that I've learned and all the knowledge that I have to people who don't necessarily know all of that. I do think that when you understand why you're doing what you're doing, you're much more likely to succeed and you're much more likely to keep going with it. Ooh, okay. How do you balance exercise and eating healthy with the uni life of going out and eating and drinking? So for me, it's been a real case of trial and error. I actually don't really enjoy drinking that much or going out that much, which I know is funny to everyone who's seen me in Fishies or on a Wednesday night. I know a lot of athletes and a lot of influencers don't drink and things. Again, like I said, I don't want to restrict anything. I don't want to start to have an unhealthy relationship with anything like that. So I've started to take my health and fitness a little bit more seriously in the last few months to a year, I'd say. And obviously with that there comes some sacrifices. And for me, drinking and going out is something that I am willing to sacrifice, and that's okay, and I'm cool with it, and I will still definitely go out with my friends and have a night out, but I've also now found the balance. You do have to prioritize some things, and you do have to look at your long-term goal, and for me, if I'm going out a lot, that does stand between me and my long-term goal. However, if you want to go out, if that's your thing, then do it. You've got to do what makes you happy. Ultimately, you have to work out what is more important to you. It's all personal preference. How do you keep fit while at school? I went to a boarding school, so obviously you have less choice over what you eat. It is definitely possible to get your diet right at school. It's just more about being a little bit switched on and focusing on what you're eating and choosing, making sure you're getting a balanced diet and you're not just eating loads of chips on a Friday because it's Fishy Friday. It's all just about making healthy choices and just being conscious of what you're eating and what you're choosing and watching what you're snacking. I was eating healthy meals and then I was just snacking excessively on just rubbish and sugar and stuff that I didn't need, and yeah, that was not helpful. I would say, however, the exercise part is really, really easy to get right at school, and it's probably the easiest you'll ever have it. At the school that I went to, you had to do some sort of form of activity a few times a week. So in that sense, you've already got a routine and you've already got a structure. You also have access to a free gym, so use it. When you go to uni, it costs me around £30 a month, and that is often a really big demotivator for people. So I definitely say that school is the place where you can just get your fitness right without even thinking about it. So just take advantage of what you've got and take advantage of the activities that are provided for you and the facilities that you have. Work out what works for you, what you enjoy, whether you like going to the gym, whether you prefer to play a team sport, and then when you go to uni or when you move on from school later on in life, you know what works for you and you can get straight into it. What inspired me to get into fitness? I don't know if I could pinpoint a moment. I think for a very long time, I felt uncomfortable with my body, and it just got to a point where I realised I'm never going to be skinny. I'm not built like that. However, I could be strong and I could use exercise to change my body into something that I do like. And so definitely at the beginning of my fitness journey, it was all for aesthetic purposes. All just to change the way I looked because I wasn't happy with it. And that worked for me, it got me moving. I saw the changes I wanted to see. But as I continued and as I was seeing these changes, I started to actually fall in love with the working out, the actual exercise and the performance goals. So my mindset has definitely shifted from aesthetic purposes to performance goals. But definitely at the start I just didn't like the way I looked and I wanted to change something about that. What are my go-to protein shake ingredients? I am really, really bad at protein shakes. I just put the powder in and then almond milk and just shake it and drink it. And often I forget to close the lid, so it goes all over me. I don't really drink protein shakes a lot. If I feel like I'm not getting enough protein at the moment, which happened to me a bit in America, I would supplement my diet with shakes. But for me, I don't really take any supplements because I generally find that I can get everything that I need in my diet. I also just prefer to eat my calories, so I tend not to add anything in it. But if you do have any protein shake recipes or ingredients or anything that you add into it that makes it, please let me know in the comments below because I would love to try them. How many Gymshark sets do you own and which are your favourites? I am a massive Gymshark fan, but I don't think I own any sets because I've never ever been confident enough to pull off an outfit all in the same colour. Having said that, I do have the matching leggings to this, but I do actually look like a highlighter when I wear it, and I've never worn it out. So let me just check. Okay, so if you watched my last video, you would have seen how messy this drawer was. I've kind of tidied it a little bit. This is my Gymshark side. Definitely, I think my favorite top is this one, which I actually wore in my first video. I don't know if you can see. I also just don't know the names of any of them, but it has a really cute cutout at the back. These would be my favorite leggings, the camo leggings. I have them in black too. Yeah, as far as things go with Gymshark, anything brightly coloured, send my way. These, so cute, these tops. My favourite leggings have to be the camo leggings because they just make your bum look so good. What is the best thing about living in Barbados? The weather, for sure. Do I miss living in the UK? Absolutely. I really miss my friends and I miss my family, especially since I've been away in Texas for the year. I haven't seen a lot of people in a long time. I also miss the really mundane things. So Barbados just doesn't have any shops unless you're looking to buy designer, but everything is so expensive here because most things are imported. Yeah, just things like that. I do just miss the ease of living in the UK, if that makes sense. Okay, what uni do I go to? I go to Oxford Brookes, but I have just come back from doing a year at the University of Texas in Austin, which has been the most amazing experience ever, and I'm definitely a Longhorn now. Was it hard to move to an American uni after doing a year in England? Why did you pick Texas? And what is uni in America really like? Yes and no. I've always wanted to be in America for school. I always wanted to experience uni life over there. And I absolutely loved every second of being in Texas, but it was obviously very different to the UK. And I think Texas in itself is very different to a lot of the rest of America as well. Obviously, it was really hard moving across the world by myself. However, they don't call me Miss International for nothing. Originally, I didn't actually pick Texas. I wanted to go to California, but I didn't really know what happened. They just told me I was going to Texas, so I was like, all right. Uni, or well, they call it college, is exactly like every movie you've ever seen, and I genuinely cannot stress that enough. From frat parties and keg stands and police shutting parties down, and I can't even begin to describe how cliche it is, but in such a good way. Like, it's everything I thought it would be and more. There is a lot more work when you go to America. They give you a lot more homework, there's a lot more classwork. It's really intense and really full on. And the grade boundaries, it's much stricter out there in terms of marking, in terms of boundaries, in terms of grades and things. So yeah, that was a big shock to me because I got like a 75 on a test or something and it was a D. So that was not fun. Not being 21 sucks, but it's not the end of the world when you have some contacts. What did your time in the US teach you? Definitely independence. I think I'm already an independent person, but just moving across the world and having to find my feet and do everything myself, yeah, gave me a whole new sense of independence. What was the moment when you decided to make your YouTube channel? Weird, scary, or freeing? Can I say all three? Because it definitely was all three. Honestly, I've wanted to make a YouTube channel for so long. I've started to build my following on my fitness Instagram, where I've been sharing pictures and workout videos. While I really hope that they inspire you and that they give you like a workout to do, or you save them to try them later, or you pluck some exercises from them, I didn't feel that Instagram was a platform that I could fully share and express everything that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I just really wanted to create a platform where I had more of an opportunity to help people and to give people some insight into my life and to be able to share what I've learned through my degree and through my courses, but also just, you know, through trial and error along the way. So yeah, in that sense it's been really freeing. You know, it's something I've really wanted to do for a long time. It does feel really weird, like even sitting now talking, well, I'm talking to you guys, but I'm talking to myself, like I'm in my room by myself. So that's a really weird concept to try and get over. Also really scary uploading a video because you never know how people are going to take it, if you're going to get good feedback, if people are going to like it, if people are even going to watch it, let alone like and subscribe. So far though, I've been so overwhelmed with the amount of love and the positive feedback from everyone, so it's definitely been worth it. What are your biggest interests outside of fitness? I love to bake and I love to cook, and I'm not particularly good at either. I think I'm probably a better baker than I am a cook. I also love a puzzle. Saying that out loud makes me sound a bit like a grandma. Intermittent fasting or small regular meals? Honestly, I don't do either. I guess if you were to categorize what I do into something, it would be intuitive eating. I just listen to my body, I eat when I'm hungry. I have really been looking into the science behind intermittent fasting, and it's something that I was actually going to try and do a video on for you guys, so if you'd like to see that, please drop me a comment. What I would say though is, don't just follow a way of eating because you've seen someone else do it, because your favourite YouTuber does it, because this athlete does it, because your mates do it. It's all about finding what works for you and what works for your body, and being able to keep a healthy relationship with food and your diet. So yeah, again, just trial and error. Try all these different things by all means, but don't force yourself to do something that doesn't work for you. How do you work out maintenance calories and finding the balance between being in a caloric deficit but eating enough? That's a really big question. I actually wrote a blog post about it and about your total daily energy expenditure. So I will link that in the description box below. There are calculators that you can use online to find your maintenance calories. I will also link one of those below. This is a really big topic, but yes, we will definitely have a chat about that at some point. How do you stay positive in general? It's all about recognizing and seeing the good in what you have and being grateful for what you have every day. Just recognizing your goals and your dreams, you know, nothing is ever out of reach. You have to dream big if you're gonna achieve, you know? Also, just don't do things that make you miserable. Life is way too short for that. You have the power and you have the ability to be in control and to change your life. And so it's all about, firstly, mindset and about how you look at things, but also what you're doing and, you know, the choices that you make. There's always other options and there's always other ways to be happy and to still achieve your goals or to still do what you need to do. I also just think that life is easier in general with a positive outlook. To be able to see the good in people and in situations is such an amazing quality. And yeah, it does leave you vulnerable sometimes, but what have you got to lose by being a good person with good intentions? So what I would say is just do what you're passionate about and be passionate about what you do. And it is with that final piece of advice that I will end this video here. Thank you so much for everyone who sent in a question. I've done my best to answer them all, so I really hope that this video did. I'm always happy to have a chat. Whether you need advice or help or you just want to have a chat, we can have a cuppa and a catch up. I will always do my best to be open and honest with you guys. So yeah. I really hope you enjoyed this video and I hope that I answered all your questions. If you did like this video, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss the next video. I will see you soon, my friends.